Hello, I'm Nick, one of the creators of Raid Pirates Plunder. Thanks for checking out our Kickstarter page. Love your support so far, it's going great. I'm about to give you a quick rundown and a little promo on our combat expansion deck, which for $7 on any pledge level you can add. It's a great way to add some complexity and a little more depth, and also makes the game a lot more exciting and a little bit more involved for people that want a more complex game like that. So I'm going to show you here, with that expansion, we give you a full deck of 4 different types of weapons. Each one comes with a range and a reload period, and that creates kind of the fundamental dynamic on which we're basing our combat. So combat works just the same way as it does in the basic game, except it's no longer up to a dice roll. It's up to the players to go into the deck and build a little arsenal for themselves to try to go out there and make your chances of pirating another player even better. So every time, at the beginning of the game first, everyone's given a weapon. And then every time you land on a ship out in open water, you get a new one. Kind of think of it like the merchant ships are out there, they have weapons on board trying to defend themselves, but you're a pirate. You're always going to be able to take their weapon. You're always going to be able to get on board that ship. So everyone goes out there, starts landing on ships, grabbing weapons, creating their arsenal, and then the combat begins. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how this range and reload works for each different type of weapon we have in the game. So the first weapon out there the pirates can pick up is the cutlass. This has a range of 0 and a reload time of 1. What that range of 0 means is you have to be right on top of someone on that same tile in order to engage in combat with them. So once this blue player is going to move up, use their weapon, attack the orange player with the ship, and unless that orange player has another weapons card in their arsenal to defend themselves against the blue, the prize is theirs, and they win the duel. However, after each time you use a weapon, it kind of goes into this broken down time, where this is where the reload comes into play, where in the case of a reload period of 1, you have to wait one whole turn round for it to go around before it comes back online and is available for use. So you kind of want to be careful every time you use a weapon to think, is someone else out there potentially near me and engage in combat such that my weapon may be in its downtime when they do attack me and I won't be able to use it. Next weapon is the musket. This has a range of 1 and a reload time of 1. This range of 1 means it can be used from one tile away or less. So he can be right here and try to fire the musket and win a battle that way, or even go right on top of him. So this gives you a little bit of a headway, so you can plan ahead. He can attack from one space away. Maybe he wins, and that gives you some time to think. Maybe I don't want to move there because there might be players out there. So that extra range gives you a little bit more strategy. However, same reload time of 1, so you have to be careful once it goes into the downtime. Someone else isn't out there trying to duel you, otherwise you won't be able to use your weapon. Next weapon is less of a direct combat, and it kind of creates a little bit more of a thing to keep your opponents on their toes. The Kraken Talisman. It allows you to summon the power of the squids and the sea serpents that are out there on the board. So if your enemy mistakenly strays right next to a sea serpent, you can use the power of your Kraken Talisman, and that sea serpent will take that player out if they don't have a way to defend themselves. This also has a reload time of 1, and can be used just the way as any other weapon. However, there is no range, as it relies on where the sea serpent and kraken is. And finally, the last weapon is the cannon. This has a range of 2 and a reload time of 2. So if 2 players are sitting apart, 2 tiles away, he can fire his cannon just like the musket gave you a little bit more of a timing advantage, where you can plan out your move from 1 tile away. If you're able to use the cannon effectively from 2 spaces, that gives you even more time to kind of plan out and strategize how far away. And it also is a very difficult weapon to defend, as the other weapons are only have a range of 1 or 0, and therefore you would not be able to defend yourself with a cutlass or musket against that cannon, as they're just not going to reach as far. So that pretty much sums up all the different types of weapons and how they work in the game of Raid Pirates Plunder.